Welcome to the Do Nothing Project. Get this right. Everybody hear me okay? Hey Andrew, I see you there in the blue font. Thank you for, as always, for moderating. Hey Brooke, hey Fred, hey Mitch, Elise, Nicole. Hello Courtney from Maynard. And Nicole. So I'm assuming I'm coming through loud and clear. Thank you. I always need to hear that. Jack Warman. Hey, buddy. Hey, Mitch. Cashew. Hey, Lori. Reese and Anna. Annabelle. Well, thank you for coming to the Do Nothing Project. I think I have this thing upside down, which is why. Well, whatever. Hopefully that'll work. I don't know where I'm supposed to look here. So if you've never been here before, this is it. This is the Do Nothing Project. You know, appears on the screen. We do a very simple meditation together, or some variation on doing nothing whatsoever. Something restful usually. And it's really about the community. It's about all these folks saying hello on the side and all the many, many people who aren't saying hello. They're just hanging out, chill, which is good, and or watching it later, which is a good number too. And so welcome all of you, wherever you're coming from, geographically, temporally. This is really about just coming together in community and making it not feel weird to sit around and do nothing, aka meditate. And this particular evening, I wanted to sort of dedicate this Do Nothing Project to our DNP member, Angie, who is recovering today from a surgery. And I heard that it went okay, and I'm just wanting to send love and support, and thought we could kind of like posse up here as the group and do a very simple, restful practice. Maybe Angie's doing it. Maybe she's here. Maybe probably she's asleep or drugged out. But we kind of send her. They say in practice, you send the merits of the practice, and send along the goodness to Angie and everybody we know who needs some good healing mojo. And so thinking about what I wanted to do, I knew just something really restful. So just for fun, sometimes I consult this the I Ching. I don't know if people know the I Ching out there. The I Ching is this amazing ancient Chinese text. It's sort of like 3,000 or 4,000 years old. I mean, it was ancient when the Taoists, it was like Lao Tzu and Confucius's favorite book. It was ancient when they were around. And there's different ways to think about what it is. That's sort of a whole discussion unto itself. But for me, it's been a really trusty guide the past couple of years. And there's like 52 hexagrams. I think it's 52. Just like different lines, straight lines, broken lines. And each of the 52, there's kind of a judgment associated with it. And it's just this sort of pithy bit of wisdom, quite rich, that was worked out thousands of years ago. And it almost always, anytime I consult it, I find a way to find something in that bit of wisdom that's relevant to where I'm at right now. And the one I got for this was called After Completion, which is actually the last hexagram of the 52, if it's 52. And it's interesting because the I Ching means the book of changes. So it's about you. I won't get into the complexity of it, but you kind of often have two hexagrams that come up, where the first one is showing what's really going on right now, and then the next one is showing what it's moving into. Everything is moving into something else. And for this one, I got just actually a stable, the last one totally stable. But even the last I Ching, because the way the I Ching is designed, is about moving onward. So after completion, you would think the last I Ching would be completion, but it's not. It's the second last one is nearing completion, and then the last one is after completion, because you finish, something is complete, and in that completeness, that finality is the seed of the next new beginning. And that's the understanding that's embodied there. And so I was thinking about that in relationship to meditation and in relationship to rest and what I might offer Angie. And I thought, oh, actually, it's kind of an interesting meditation prompt. This very simple prompt to continually lean back and rest on the moment that finished. So let your moment that you're in now rest on the one you're in before. And then you rest, and then the next thing arises, and then you rest on what was just there before. This idea of continually backing up, not moving forward so much, but leaning continually on what's happening right now, what's just happened, as this form of rest. And that may not make a ton of sense, because often these things don't, but I think it could work as a prompt in the meditation. So that's the backstory, as if you needed to know that. But definitely have Angie's good intentions in mind, and anyone else you want to just sort of acknowledge and let this rest be for you too, because I had a long day myself and I know I need it. So bell, I'm going to do 25-minute sit, so it's 7:07, so somewhere around 7:32 we'll be finishing. And welcome to everybody. Mitch is saying he knows the I Ching. Yeah, I'll have to do an episode sometime on the I Ching, because it's a very interesting book, extremely so. Let's do it. Okay. So, just as always, anytime you come to this thing, if you have a practice you like to do that's your own version of meditating and or doing nothing, you're welcome to do that. Or you can follow loosely along with these prompts. Eyes can be open, looking at the ground in front of you, kind of soft gaze, so you're not really, processing what you're seeing so much. You're sort of just looking through it. Or you can have your eyes closed. Again, it's sort of user's choice. Some people find that closed eyes lead to lots of daydreaminess, whereas if keeping them open, you're kind of present in here, but less likely to go into thought. But you can see that that's true for yourself. A few deep breaths. Stretching up on the inhale. And settling on the exhale. Connecting to our equanimity, which is really just this, I think of it as almost an attitude to not get uptight about imperfections, distractions, sudden sounds, unexpected feelings, thoughts, aches and pains. It's sort of this existential take it in strideness. Whatever happens is just part of the flow of life, and I'm going to go along with it. And that right there actually is a kind of leaning back in what's here. This is also, you can think of equanimity as not, and literally is about being present to what's here, being open to what's here, not leaning in to the future, trying to reaching for bliss, trying to, reel it in, or conversely, reaching back for a previous experience that you might have had, you're trying to get back to, but just being right here with what's happening. So the most simple meditation instruction is just be. Just be kind of in a way that's enjoying your own company, not needing things to be different. And kind of rest. And to help us with this, it can help to use a home base, some object, something to pay attention to help kind of get things a bit more settled, especially if you got lots of busy brain or agitated feelings. You can just zoom in on the sensation of the breath, maybe at the belly or at the nose, or you can let yourself really feel some other body sensation. Maybe, I like to work sometimes with just the feeling of my skin, just existing in my skin, or your hands, or a sound. But the idea is just to, in a very patient way, you choose something and then not in any rush, just see what it shows you. Let it continually just upwell and present its latest iteration. And there's never anywhere to get to. So at every moment you can have this prompt of just letting go and leaning back on what's here, leaning back on the moment that's just left. Each moment is a new beginning. Let's try that. Good. So think of coming back to this moment when you get distracted as coming back to rest in the moment, to rest right here. It's like your whole body's leaning back on the moment that just left. So there's nowhere to get to in front of you. And you can kind of lean back in your own body in a sense, but also in your awareness. It's like you're letting yourself rest on exactly what emerges right now. And then it goes, and you're leaning back into it, and the next thing emerges. By next thing, I just mean the next moment, the next tiny shift in sensation of the feeling of your breath, the next configuration of sound, the next feeling of air on your skin, the way it's configured slightly differently. This continual newness emerging from what's passing. And there's nowhere to go except right here. Each time you're Mind wanders, you come back and you restart. And the last meditation is gone. A new one starting right now. We rest on the old meditation as it disappears and the new one emerges. And then that meditation's over and we lean back on that. And then the new one appears. And there's nowhere to go except just rest right here and let it all come to you. And you can really put down everything. Let everything rest. Let the thought rest, the idea rest, the identity rest, the plan rest, the agenda rest. You can just be no one, going nowhere, not needing anything. Resting right back here. It's a single act. Being here, opening to the new is letting go of the old. It's one thing. Letting go of the old is making space for the new. So in that openness, we can spend the last few minutes deliberately cultivating a bit of friendly vibes, sending it out to whoever you know. Sometimes this is talked about as sort of sharing the benefits of the practice, whatever peacefulness got cultivated here, or openness, or whatever it was. It's like you're giving it away, sharing it among your network, passing it around. You can just sit here and sort of visualize one person. Imagine them receiving the benefits of it, or different people. May they know this, the peace, the sanity, the simplicity, the ease, the healing. And what does it feel like to offer this from this place of being centered, not reaching out, not grasping at it, just letting it, giving it away. It's an endlessly renewable resource of your own good intentions, your own presence. Your love. And so one by one, different people may come to mind. Just this Buddha half smile at the lips, send them some care. Sending Angie, our Do Nothing project community friend here, sending her some healing juju. And anybody else who needs it, you know. Thanks for practice. Thanks for meditating. And it's weird, I think the camera's here and I'm looking over here at the comments, so that's why I Yeah, that's what happens with upside down. Total quality connection. Cashew, I agree. Melissa, thanks for wishing Angie a speedy recovery. Nice. Basil made it to the finish line. Yeah, good start to the week. Luxury of doing nothing. James, go-to practices for, thank you, do you have any go-to practices for strengthening your equanimity muscle? Oh, many. As life is the practice of trying to strengthen your equanimity muscle, as you always get hooked. You know, when I started out, what I would do all the time was cold shower. Could I just stay inside a cold shower and just be totally cool with it? Not like I would just let the water get colder and colder and colder. Just staying there, opening to the experience of the cold. And opening to it is very invigorating. That's how you actually work with these cold water plunges. You can't have any bracing or resistance. You're just, I mean, maybe there's breathing things you can do ahead of time, but the core inner move is the equanimity. So Wim Hof, all those guys, they're just equanimity champions, among other things. So that's what I would recommend. Or go move through a cityscape slowly with all the sounds and see if you can just find what does it feel like inside you to go through that without bracing at the honking of a horn. That's literally in a kind of inner equanimity. It's like this inner spaciousness, like playing with intense sensory inputs is one way to do it. And then I also do it with thinking, like noticing when I get fixated. Oh, I'm fixated on this thought, or I want to complete this, or I want to say this thing, and why do I back off from that? Like the backing off is just allowing things to be what they are. That's the equanimity. I find those help. And if anybody has their own ideas for how they find the equanimity, you share it here. Hope that helps. Yeah, I wonder even how that worked with that weird leaning on the piece of the moment before. Bit of a vertical time vibe. Hey, thanks for all the nice things here. Oh gosh, lots of stuff here. I think I saw something pop by about dealing with negative thoughts. About how you deal with negative thoughts. I don't know where I saw that. Yeah, well, I have negative thoughts like everybody. Trying to think of, I have different strategies for I'm dealing with sad thoughts or anxious thoughts or angry thoughts, kind of slightly different, but the main strategy is just, having compassion for myself now for having them, because negative thoughts often create these really challenging emotional feelings in our body, and it's just like, it's hard, it's suffering. So I used to just always try to figure out how to get rid of them, and now I just kind of, the first thing I do is try to just have compassion, like, oh man, I'm sorry you're dealing with this first. And then the act of doing that often has a settling effect on me. And then I just try to just understand that they're just natural and normal, like that there's the positive ones, the negative ones are just part of the mind, and it's not necessarily who I am. It's just sort of it's the clothes I'm wearing right now. And so when I remember that, then the fact that they're negative doesn't seem as important, because there's going to be negative and there's going to be positive, and and there's ways also. I mean, we've talked a lot about and do nothing ways of getting space around challenging emotions and thoughts, and I have some meditations like that on my website, but those are kind of more ground level thoughts on that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, focusing on positive is great too. Focusing on just literally subbing in more loving thoughts, but that can feel very artificial when you're in the midst of a really negative thought streak. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, someone's saying vertical time reminded me of today's trip. Yeah, I was definitely channeling a bit of that. Yeah, the starting over again every moment. That was something Matthew, I mean, a lot of teachers say that, of course, starting again, but it was a great meditation by Matthew Hepburn on 10% Happier. And he was like, his thing was like, okay, it's like this beginning again. Yeah, just start again. That meditation you were just doing, that's over. That's gone. But this new one's right here now. Oh, that one's gone. But this new one's right here now. So you just never have to get uptight with the fact that your meditation might feel like a disaster because there's always a new one beginning, you know. Just give it up. I love that prompt. Oh, yeah. Lyle's saying the party with the uninvited guests and calm. That's a good one for negative emotions and feelings. Or rain. You can Google rain. Tara Brach famously. It's not her. She's not the one who started it, but I forget the name of the American Vipassana teacher who first came up with that acronym, RAIN. That's another one. Recognize, accept, investigate, and nurture, or not identify. Lots of little, this is like ground zero for little tricks. Oh, yeah. Andrew's got the caring hands and pendulate one. That's good. Yeah, look at Brooke. Brooke's got a good line. And knowing those thoughts are also changing flow, they'll come and go. Ask yourself, can I dance with this? Jeff, sweating in the cold shower. Yeah, Mitch is saying it's astonishing to discover the power of just dropping your guard and staring right into the face of whatever's challenging you. You said it, dude. That's equanimity. Oh, yeah. Angie Kingman's got Michelle McDonald, Vipassana Hawaii. I guess she's the one who killed with rain. Melissa McDonald, or Michelle. Anyway, thank you for sharing that. Is it normal, Eduardo says, when you get a nervous tic in the middle of your meditation? Yeah, I think of those as like kriyas. It depends what you're talking about, but sometimes you get these little twitches, and it's kind of like at sleep onset. When you're just about to fall asleep, and then you do this like this kind of lurch in your bed, like you got a little dream that you're falling down, or who knows what, or you're slipping on ice, and it's like this little release of muscle tension, basically. So you get these little muscle tension releases and spasms sometimes when you're meditating, and you can get these little tics or little weird spontaneous movements that can happen. All right, friends. It's a good session. Hey, Lily, nice to see you. Yeah, those little nervous system tics. When I used to meditate with Shinzen and his group, which I'm looking forward to doing when that renormalizes in person, but all these really experienced meditators, and some of them would just be doing the weirdest things during the meditation, making weird noises like and weird like shivers, and it was just part of the scene. So Laurel kind of freaked out. I guess it depends on what kind of tic, but I just think of it as a release. It's like a letting go. It's catharsis. Stuff's just boiling off. Yeah, Mitch is saying something interesting there. Yeah. Well, anyway, really good to have you all here with me this week. Yeah. Hey, Rena, nice to see you. So tomorrow night is CEC. We got a new theme this month. This is the fuck it theme. I think we're going to change next year, but right now that's that. I like that. So I'll be doing one meditation. There'll be other teachers, but it's all about, it's the two sides of the fuck it. On the one side, like, fuck how it is right now. The things that need to be changed, that we recognize need to be changed, and like not going along with stuff that seems like unconscious or blind or negative or destructive or whatever it is. So that kind of fuck it, the kind of classic activist fuck it, but also the fuck it of like, who cares? I don't have to take myself so seriously. I can just sort of, I could just, be in this moment without being uptight. Erin describes it well in the latest newsletter, actually. She might be here, but if you look at the CEC website, there's a little essay that Erin describes the two sides of the fuck it. So that's our theme this month at CEC. So it's mostly, I think mine's like fuck self-improvement. It's the last one of the month for our new year. And it's also that place in Thailand. Good call, Mitch. Which I've been to. So friends, I'll see you later. I'm gonna go, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Probably read. Maybe go to sleep. Thanks everybody. I'll see you next week. Appreciate all of you. No celebrity guest appearances this week. Just the regular humans. All right. Bye, everybody.